Welcome back, everybody. We're still working on the Super M. Haven't had a whole lot to video lately, but a lot's been going on. I'll just show you what I'm into this morning here, and then we'll catch you up on the rest of the details later. Flywheel's on the bench. Now, if you've been watching this series from the start, you will know that this is the original flywheel from the Super M. Senior had this machined. It was horrendously cracked, and they were not able to cut most of the cracks out of it. There are still some pretty deep ones in here. Some of those are pretty nasty looking. He was thinking about going with it, but then I'm like, well, let's take a look and see if we can find something better. Sure enough, I was able to source a much better flywheel. I took it up, had a fresh grind put to it. No cracks in this thing at all. They also did the pressure plate surface. Everything's matching within specs. So we're going to go with this flywheel here. We're not going to use this. I certainly don't need to have one of these blowing up inside the bell housing. But you'll notice I got this one without a ring gear on. And the ring gear from the Super M was starting to get a little bit worn. So I talked to Senior, and he sourced a new ring gear. So we will get this heated up. We will get it put on the flywheel here today. We also have a new pilot bearing to go in here. That's pretty straightforward. Just press it in, you're good to go. So I've cleaned this up very well, good enough to go in the oven. And I'll put a link up here to the Caterpillar D2 5G1113 series, where I did the whole heating of the ring gear, installing it on that flywheel. There's some mathematics in there and some degrees of heat that equal inches, or I should say thousandths of expansion. We're not going through all those gory details again today, but the manual states to heat this up to about 500 degrees to slip it on. That seems to be a little bit high to me. I only did about 350 on that D2 ring gear, which was much more substantial than this. Granted, I had that flywheel in the freezer to try and get some sort of shrinkage on it, and I still had plenty of clearance. So I might do a 350 to 400 degree heat on this ring gear, and then we'll just see if it slips on. Smells delicious. Okay, let's give it a try. Just like that. We're good. That's with the ring gear at about 375 degrees Fahrenheit. Flywheel about 70-ish degrees. So we'll just let that cool. Alright, so that went well. So we have a brand new ring gear now on a very solid, good condition flywheel. Off camera, I pressed that pilot bearing into the center. So that should be good for the new clutch disc and pressure plate that Senior picked up for the Super M. And also the other day I made a couple of new fold over locks for the flywheel bolts. It's the other one right there. You can see the old ones were getting pretty well mangled, so they were ready for some new ones. And we have the 6 pressure plate bolts in here. So that should be everything we're going to need right here to get that put on the back of the engine. Now, you notice I'm kind of dirty. That's because, well, it's kind of about 3-4 hours after when I actually put that ring gear on the flywheel. I've been doing a lot of work lately, getting everything prepped for paint on the Super M. We'll go out this door here. You can see the back end is no longer out in the other shop. We've got it rolled up here, and I went and scratched this down the other day. Well, that glare coming in is kind of bad. I apologize, but we're not doing an absolute down to bare metal on this. Remember, guys, this is just going to be a working tractor. It's going to have to earn its keep after this. We're just getting it cleaned up enough to get a decent amount of paint on, some good adhesion, so we can just refresh everything here a little bit. So like I said, everything here is pretty well scratched down, ready for, we're going to hit a few spots with primer, get some fresh red on here. I've got gear shifter components all cleaned up and ready. I just need a couple of those little 5/8 Welsh plugs to go on either side to hold that cross pin in, waiting on those to show up. Did a bunch of work on the drawbar bracket stuff back here. It had a bunch of mismatched goofy threaded nuts on it. All this stuff here is just kind of holding it to the rack right now. But back here I've got all of the good hardware I want to use cleaned up. I got one of these bar pieces right here for the clamp. One of them out there on that rear end is a little bit tweaked. This one was in much better shape, so that's ready to go. We know about the PTO, we know about the bell housing. We're probably going to pop this bell housing onto that back end to do primer and paint and stuff. So that's going to go there pretty soon. I still have to scratch down this bolster, but I've got a lot of hardware stuff ready We have PTO stuff here. We have everything for bell housing in there for hardware cleaned up and ready. Here is everything that holds the engine onto the back end, the bolster onto the front, the side rails onto it. I've got all the clutch release stuff ready to get primered and painted and go into that bell housing. Bottom plate for the clutch housing. We have the drop down for the drag links for steering. We have the engine mount blocks, brake pedals, clutch pedal. You know about the belt pulley, more of the brake hardware right there. Went and cleaned up the side channels this morning. Now one of these had a few little holes that I had to do some repair on. That's no good. That's not great either, nor is that. There, that's better. I can breathe again. And it just takes a few minutes like that to make these so much nicer. One thing I can't stand is Farmalls with these side rails that have hogged out holes that somebody put fresh paint over the top of. That's just, that is a no-go in my book. It's so much nicer just to get those cleaned up, make them look real nice. In addition to that, I'm working on some of the brake hardware right now, some of the pull rods and adjusting mechanisms for those pedals where it joins to the actuators inside the brake housings. I put another parts order in this morning, have a few miscellaneous pieces coming for the project yet, all these little odds and ends. Basically, my goal lately has just been to just push right on through and get everything ready to get paint and assemble a rolling chassis, get four wheels back on the ground. Now that doesn't mean that we're going to be where we need to be with back tires and like wheel hubs, stuff like that, but we'll probably just have that stuff cleaned enough to hang onto the axles once we get that thing painted. We're probably going to paint it out on jack stands and on blocks outside in front of the garage here, so we'll have everything ready just to slap the old tires and rims and wheels on enough to roll it in, and then we'll probably address what needs to be done with those after that. So, but like I say, we're just trying to get four wheels on the ground, get a rolling chassis put back together, and man, I'm really remembering why I decided I wanted to be done painting tractors. It's really dirty work, it's a lot of work, and I get in this mode every time where all I'm doing is just cleaning parts, getting filthy every day, just doing a lot of prep work, getting ready to start laying the paint down, because the prep work is 95% of a paint job. That's where it is. Basically, that's the make or break. So anyway, I've probably rambled long enough. That's what's been keeping me busy. Just days upon days of boring cleaning, not really worth filming. So that's my end of it. We'll kick it over to Senior. I think he was doing a little bit of work on his bench the other day.
Squatch Senior here, back on the M project. Today I'm going to be putting the distributor back together. Got everything all cleaned up, buffed down, ready to go. I did install a new O-ring seal in here. It's got a brass retainer for that, and the old one was getting a pretty well flat spot wore on it, getting pretty stiff and brittle, so that definitely needed resealing there. First thing I'm going to do is install the shaft along with the thrust washers, drive gear, and pin. And to do that, thrust washer goes on first. I will be giving a light coat of oil on the shaft. We'll install it. Another thrust washer, gear, and the retaining pin. We'll get that installed. Got the shaft installed, gear on. Got my end play adjusted up, which is good. I got just a little bit of friction on the turning, so I know my O-ring is sealing like it should. I made a new pin, and I peened it over to make sure she don't come out of there. So next up, we are going to do the advanced weights. You can see in here, you got a kind of little ramps for it. I'll put a little bit of grease on them. We'll get these installed. You can see how that's been wearing on the ramp. Got the springs, got the washers, nuts and screws to hold it down, and the plate with all the stops. So, and then this piece goes in besides. That goes in first. You can see a little extension there, goes into that hole. That's kind of a limit stop. A little bit of oil will go in here. And I do have a new felt that I punched out. We'll go into this end. So you just put a drop or two of oil in there once in a while. It keeps this advanced shaft lubricated on this piece right here. So let's get the advanced system put in. Got the weights installed, spring installed, everything lubricated up, and now getting the top plate on. Now, as you can see, way down in, that screw, kind of tough to get at. Anyway, they got this fancy little tool here, the screw starter. And what you do, you can see how it kind of goes sideways, locks the screw. This is for you guys that's not familiar with this. A lot of mechanics are. So what you do, you lock it down. Stick your screw in there. Give her a push. Locks right in, holds it for you. And you can get it in. And get her started, just like that. We'll get this finished tightened down and get into the points plate. Next up, we'll get the plate installed that holds the points and condenser in. Consists of the plate and the two clips to hold the distributor cap on. All the screws here cleaned up, ready to go. Let's get that installed. Okay, next up, going to get the piece of felt installed that I got punched out for that. And give it a couple drops of oil. Give it a chance to soak in. And now for the points and condenser. All my pieces here. We'll get them installed. I took the primary terminal screw out to make sure everything was cleaned up and stuff. No oil, grease, bad terminals. This is where the wire from the coil hooks in on this end, and the points and condenser tie in here. It's an insulating block. Fiber washer. Brass washer, and both the locks are in. Okay, should be ready to get the points and condenser in there. And to do that, I got some of this cam lube. I'll put a little bit of that behind the wear block here. And I'll put a little bit, you got a little indent there, I'll put a little bit inside in the pivot point there. We'll get these points installed. There we have one distributor put together. Got the points all gapped. Everything seems to be working good. Things turned free. My advance weights were working good. Got my end clearance right where I want it. So you should call that one good to go.